Brrrah! Spicy's in the house, my people, and I hope you subscribe to participate in the 5,000 subscribers goal for the next giveaway, where I will give out 8 Amazon gift cards of $25 each. So go ahead, subscribe and like this video. Also let me know if you subscribe in the comments so I can show you some love. Congratulations Jasmine for the comment of the day. OCD got me confused as a worker. Okay, so this was a few years ago. At the time, I was 14. Me and my family were going to a retail store. I have minor OCD and I like to have items neat and organized. When we normally go to stores, my mom does not mind that I wander off and fix the things that I believe are not correct. I wouldn't do drastic changes, but it makes the aisle look way better. Anyway, back to the story. So when we got inside, I turned on the ringer on my phone. So if my parents called, I could answer while I wandered off. Clothes don't bother me at all, so I don't care if they are thrown around. I noticed 2 tables of watches completely ransacked. I did what I always do. I began to straighten them out into lines to look presentable. If I would have known that this would cause a world of trouble, I would have never touched those stupid watches. So let's call this lady CB for Crazy Beach. She was a white blonde lady looking around her late 20s and early 30s. At the time, I was wearing a plain black shirt, jeans and gym shoes. The only difference in clothes I had from the employees was my pants and shoes, so I did not think much of it. The Crazy Beach soon enough walks into the store, and I noticed people who walked in since I was by the entrance. She looked around at the stuff behind me until standing behind me, something I was not aware of. She suddenly did one of those fake coughs. I turned around and noticed her. Naive me thought she wanted to look at the watches, so I stepped aside, not possibly believing a 5 and 5 kid with a baby face could get confused as a worker. She looked at me as if I was the most stupid person on earth. What happened next was the most enraging conversation I've ever had. You're not going to ask what I need? Sorry? Don't act stupid. Ring me up on one of those fast register things. The store where we were at, if you found a spare employee, they could help you quickly so you will not have to wait in line. What? I don't work here, ma'am. Don't lie to me. You are organizing the watches. That's a worker's job. Stop being such a lazy ass and ring me up. I have a high patience level, but this was slowly raising my anger charts. But I, regardless, tried to hold my nice posture. I told you, ma'am, I don't work here. You are unbelievable. You have the employee's outfit. Stop lying. At this point, she must have had a bad day or something because she looked like she wanted to strangle me. That or severe anger issues, probably both. I'm visibly looking around for my parents, them not being within eyeshot. Look at me, I'm talking to you. You Mexicans have no manners. If I was not fuming before that remark, I was fuming now. I am Latino and I've only rarely seen anybody racist to anyone where I live, but I didn't want to blow off the handle and cause a scene. I am visibly mad. Look lady, I don't work. She cuts me off. Stop giving me that BS excuse. You just don't want to do your work, you lazy F. Wait until your manager hears about this. Heck, I should call the cops on them for employing you. You probably don't even have papers. I knew I should have used the tactic my mom told me when I am in danger, to just start screaming loudly to get people to notice me. But I wanted to make her so embarrassed of herself for being such trash of a human. I gave her the death glare while reaching into my pocket, pulling out my ID, and I saw her eyes widen, the color draining from her face as she realized something that I was going to tell her if she was not being such a crazy bitch. I was underage. I was not legally allowed to work. She had just harassed a minor. She looked at me before saying sorry multiple times, begging me not to tell my parents or press charges. She says she was just having a horrible day, and I could not make out what she was saying since she was spewing word vomit. My phone rang, my parents telling me it is time to go. I looked at the girl before saying, "Yeah, I will be there right now, mom." I glanced at her before I told her some words that I hope stayed with her. Even if I am not an employee, you should not treat another person like that. I won't tell my parents, nor press charges. Not like I have any reason to, honestly. But even if you're having a bad day, it does not give you the right to harass me or go after me because I am Latino. I'ma head out and I hope you have a better day. To me, the best part is, I never told her I was not gonna post this on Reddit. So Crazy Beach, if you're reading this, I hope you stop being an ass. That was one hell of a story. Thank you. Let's get to the next story. Excuse me, but my daddy does not work here, mister. Before I begin the story, I must say that in my country, there's a custom of giving festive sacks or boxes filled with candy, snacks, and the like to your children, little cousins, employees, and friends' kids. So basically, any kids you have some sort of bond with. It is relevant to the story. My uncle was out shopping with his 7-year-old daughter, who is my cousin, putting together festive boxes. Don't know what else to call them, for his friend's kids. One of the items in his cart were cute blue and pink boxes that you assemble yourself. He was approached by another shopper who was also looking for them, but could not find any. So my uncle took his time explaining where he would find the boxes. Clearly, my cousin did not like the idea. She was hangry and already huffy enough because her birthday party is on New Year's Eve. I mean, can't they just reschedule New Year's Eve? She piped up and said matter-of-factly, "Excuse me, but my daddy does not work here, mister." Both of them got a good chuckle out of it, and the lost shopper found his way quickly afterwards. A goph equal a sex worker? Okay, so this is a strange one and does have some sexual topics in it, so read at your own risk. Let's set the characters. Little sis, my younger sister who is a bit on the bigger side. It is important later on. She has a big heart and has just started coming out of her shell. Lover's worker, a poor soul who was dragged into this by TB and in fact tried to make things right in the end. And me, a tall goth who is well endowed and has a nice figure that I work hard to keep. And finally, the beach. TB, the lady who would not leave us alone and who started this whole thing. So my little sister, her boyfriend, and I were all hanging out when my sister said she needed to stop by Lovers. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a sex shop. We drive over, show them our IDs, and start to look around, and little sister knows what she wants, but keeps looking because they are having a sale. I wander off and start looking at some of the stuff they have. I start chatting with a worker about rope. She is dragged away by other customers, so I just keep looking. Enter the beach. I am looking at the BDSM section of the store, looking at prices, etc. Clearly a customer. When out of nowhere, I feel a hard tap on my shoulder. I jumped and turned to see an older lady, older than me, a 20-something. She does not look happy at all, so I stare at her for a second, then ask, "Can I help you?" in the most confused tone. I am used to people stopping me on the street or in shops and malls to give me comments, ask where I got an item I was wearing. But I knew that's not what the woman wanted. She snapped at me. "Yes, you can." Still confused, I ask her what. She rolls her eyes at me like I'm wasting her time. "I need to know what type of condoms to get." I nearly lost it. "Excuse me? I'm sorry, I can't help you. I don't work here." The beach apparently did not understand or just ignored me because next thing I knew she was grabbing my wrist and trying to pull me closer to a display of different condoms. Mind you, I am wearing 6 inches platforms, so I am really tall and my boots give me some extra weight, so I stand my ground and won't budge. She tries harder. Again, I try and tell her I don't work here. Again, and she does not listen. She finally stops and glares at me. "You have to work here. I mean, look at you." She waved her hands all around as if to say, "My God, look at you." I shot back, and what does that mean? I'm used to people assuming things about me by the way I look, but the way she said it rubbed me the wrong way. At this point, my little sister sees what's going on and runs over asking if everything is okay. The beach snaps at my sister. "This beach won't help me. What horrible customer service." Me and my sister give each other a look and she tries to explain that I don't work there and that the workers are upfront if she really needed help. The beach shoots a look at my sister. I just want her to help me. She makes it clear that she wants my help and my help only. My sister tries to explain that I don't work there and may not be much help to her at all. The bitch starts to get mad and tell my sister to screw off in the meanest way she can. Screw off, you fat pig, I didn't ask you. I am starting to get mad. My sister had a problem with how she looks and her weight. My sister goes to speak up again, tears in her eyes. That's when the bitch loses it and starts to get in her face. Do you think I'm stupid or something? I know she works here, she has to. I just lose it. My sister starts to cry. Nope, I will not be dealing with this BS anymore. No sir, I won't. I am very protective of my sister. Always have and always will. I step between them so the woman ends up looking at my chest, thanks to the extra 6 inches. I tell her not to yell at my sister, she was only trying to help. The bitch steps back so she can look me in the eyes and tells me, no self-respecting woman will ever dress like you do. Only sluts and skags do. You must work here because no place will ever hire someone like you. Apparently, being goth, a style of clothing in music, having tattoos and the like, means you can't work anywhere except sex shops. I am beyond pissed and my little sister can tell. I am pretty sure everyone within a 3 feet radius could tell I was pissed. It was, at this point, a worker ran over, seeing the tension between me and the bitch. The worker was short, had a black button-down top, black slacks, a lover's badge that said her name on it, and even a small apron around her waist. Comparing her to me was night and day. How this woman confused me for a worker was beyond me. The worker asked what's going on, and the bitch lets the poor girl have it, telling her I was rude, I need to be fired, and so on. After she was done yelling at this poor soul, the worker explains that I, in fact, don't work there. This woman looked as if we had just slapped her. She looked me up and down with a "screw you" look on her face. I stared right back at her, still in front of my little sister. We got our stuff and left. The worker insisted we get a discount for having to deal with her. I told her no, I did not want her to possibly lose her job, and besides, it was not her fault. I do have a hard time with spelling and writing due to a learning disability. Not trying to pull on any heartstrings, just letting y'all know. I did put it through sleep check and fix my mistakes. Thank you to those who kindly told me to check my spelling. I try and keep an eye out for it, but I guess even now I messed up. That's a princess, sir. Short and non-confrontational, just kind of funny. This was years ago when I first came to Japan. A bunch of my friends flew over during my stay, so we all got together and decided to go to a maid cafe. A maid cafe is where girls dressed up as maids serve cute food and might dance and sing. No, it is not sexual. And there are strict rules against touching maids and making sexual comments. I was the only girl among the 6 of us. Looking over the menu, you could pay something like $50 for a drink, dessert, picture, and you could wear the maid uniform. I went for that. Now, maids are not allowed to sit at the tables, which will be a clear sign that I did not work to anyone that knows the rules. There were some businessmen a few tables away from us that were obviously new to the experience. The maid brought over the picture book of the maids so that they could choose who they wanted to take a picture with. We want to take a picture with, that girl over there. Oh, that's not a maid. That's a princess. Maid lingo for, that's not an employee. That's a customer. Ah, to be young and cute again, I was just happy that I learned enough Japanese to understand what was going on. I went back to this cafe a while ago, and I don't think they let you wear the uniform anymore. This must have been a common occurrence. Okay, the fact they said that's not a maid, that's a princess, Disney World needs to step up. Before you go away or enjoy my playlist of IDontWorkHereLady videos, remember to subscribe to have a chance in winning one of the 8 Amazon gift cards I would give when we reach the 5,000 subscribers goal mark. Thank you for your support, and hopefully you can help me create better videos with your likes and comments. My name is Spicy, and I'm out.